Musa al-Kazim, a.s., the King of Patience. In the quiet streets of Medina, under the golden light of the sun, a child was born who would grow to become a symbol of patience, wisdom, and unwavering faith. His name was Musa, son of Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq, a.s. The world would come to know him as al-Kazim, the one who controls his anger. From a young age, Imam Musa al-Kazim, a.s., showed signs of greatness. His knowledge was deep, his character was pure, and his heart was filled with the love of Allah. People would gather around him, amazed at his wisdom even as a child. But his life was not meant to be easy. A life of trials. After the martyrdom of his father, Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq, a.s., the responsibility of guiding the Ummah fell upon Imam Musa al-Kazim, a.s. However, this was a time of oppression. The Abbasid rulers feared the influence of the Imam. The ruler Harun al-Rashid saw the Imam as a threat, not because of power or weapons, but because of truth. The Imam's growing popularity made the rulers uneasy. People loved him, respected him, and followed his teachings. This made the tyrants afraid. Chains but not broken. One day, soldiers surrounded the Imam and arrested him. He was taken away from his family, from Medina, and thrown into the dark prisons of Baghdad. The prison was cold, silent, and filled with suffering. But Imam Musa al-Kazim, a.s., did not complain. Instead, he turned the prison into a place of worship. Days turned into nights, and nights into years. Yet, the Imam remained patient. He spent his time in prostration, whispering to Allah, "O Allah, you know that I always asked you for time to worship you, and now you have given me that chance." Even the prison guards were shocked. They had never seen such peace in a prisoner. One of the most famous stories about Imam Kazim, a.s., is about a man who used to insult him daily. Instead of reacting with anger, the Imam visited him one day. The man was shocked and afraid. But the Imam spoke gently, smiled, and treated him with kindness. The man broke down in tears. He said, "Allah knows best where to place his message. You are truly the Imam." That enemy became a follower. This was the power of patience, the power of akhlaq, character. Martyrdom in prison. Years passed, and the Imam remained imprisoned. Finally, the tyrant decided to silence him forever. Poison was given to the Imam in prison. Slowly, his body weakened, but his faith remained strong. On the 25th of Rajab, Imam Musa al-Kazim, a.s., left this world. But his legacy lives forever. Legacy of Imam Musa al-Kazim, a.s. He taught us, patience is stronger than anger. Forgiveness is greater than revenge. Faith shines brightest in darkness. Even in chains, he was free. Even in prison, he was powerful. Final message. Today, when we face difficulties, remember Imam Kazim, a.s. If he could remain patient in the darkest prison, then we too can stay strong in our struggles. End line for video. And remember, true strength is not in power, but in patience. Imam Musa al-Kazim, a.s., the King of Patience, Part 2. The prison walls of Baghdad were thick and cold, but they could not imprison the light of Imam Musa al-Kazim, a.s. Years had passed, yet the Imam remained in chains. But something strange began to happen. Light inside the darkness. The guards who once saw him as just another prisoner, started to feel something different. Every night, they would hear soft whispers coming from his cell. When they looked inside, they saw a man in prostration, tears flowing from his eyes, speaking to Allah with complete humility. One guard said, "I have never seen a man like him. He spends the entire night in prayer and the day in fasting." Slowly, hearts began to change. The prison was no longer just a prison. It became a place of guidance. Even enemies became lovers. Among the officials was a harsh jailer, known for his cruelty. He was ordered to make life difficult for the Imam. But when he observed Imam Musa al-Kazim, a.s., something inside him broke. Instead of finding anger, he found peace. Instead of rebellion, he found submission to Allah. One day, he said, "By Allah, this man is not an ordinary person, he is a servant of God." And just like that, another heart was transformed. Fear of the truth. Meanwhile, in the palace of Harun al-Rashid, fear was growing. How can a prisoner still influence people? He asked angrily. They are supposed to forget him, not follow him. But truth cannot be hidden. Even behind bars, the Imam's message was spreading. His patience was louder than any speech. His silence was stronger than any army. A dua that shook the heavens. One night, in the depth of darkness, the Imam raised his hands and made a powerful dua, "O Allah, you know the done to me, but I leave my matter in your hands." It is said that soon after, the oppressive rulers began to face internal problems, fear, and unrest. Because when a oppressed person calls upon Allah, the heavens respond. A heart detached from the world. Despite years in prison, Imam Musa al-Kazim, A.S., never complained. Not about the chains, not about the loneliness, not about because his heart was not attached to this world. His connection was with Allah. And that made him unbreakable. A lesson for all time. Today, we get angry over small things. We lose patience quickly, we respond with harsh words. But Imam Kazim, A.S., teaches us something powerful: control your anger. Forgive those who hurt you. Trust Allah in every situation. Because real strength is patience. End line for video, Part 2. Even in darkness, the light of patience never fades. Imam Musa al-Kazim, A.S., the King of Patience, Part 3 Final. The years of imprisonment had taken a toll on the body of Imam Musa al-Kazim, A.S., but never on his soul. His chains had become witnesses. His had become history, and his patience had become eternal. The final days. In the dark prison of Baghdad, the enemies made their final move. The ruler Harun al-Rashid, unable to silence the truth chose a cruel path. Poison. It was secretly given to the Imam. Slowly, silently, it began to spread through his body. Pain increased, weakness grew, but his lips continued to remember Allah. There was no complaint, no fear, only submission. The last moments. As the final hours approached, Imam Musa al-Kazim, A.S., raised his eyes toward the heavens. With a weak but peaceful voice, he whispered, "O Allah, I am pleased with your decree. You are my witness that I remained patient." Tears flowed from the eyes of those few who were present. Even in that moment, the Imam was teaching how to face death. How to meet Allah, with peace, with patience, with faith. A lonely departure, but not forgotten. On the 25th of Rajab, the world lost a great Imam. But that did not end there. His pure body was placed on a bridge in Baghdad, and people were called to see, so they could be told, "This is Musa ibn Ja'far, who has died." But Allah had a different plan. Instead of humiliation, it became a moment of awakening. People cried, hearts broke. And the truth spread even more. The eternal legacy. They tried to silence him. But today, millions remember him. They chained his body, but his message became free forever. They poisoned him, but his character became immortal. This is the power of truth. This is the legacy of Imam Musa al-Kazim, A.S. Deep lessons from his life. Patience is the greatest weapon. Even stay calm. Allah is always watching. Control your anger. Being strong doesn't mean reacting, it means holding back. Trust Allah completely. Even when everything is taken away, Allah remains. You're as powerful. The voice of the oppressed reaches the heavens. This world is temporary. True success is meeting Allah with a pure heart. A message to you: if you feel broken, if life feels unfair, if people hurt you, remember Imam Kazim, A.S. He suffered more, yet stayed patient. So don't lose hope, because after every darkness, there is light. Final ending line, powerful for video. They tried to bury his light, but they didn't know, light can never be buried.